If I had known what was happening behind my back, would have saved myself a lot of late-night pacing, second-guessing, and most importantly, dry cleaning bills. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. My name is Nathan. I'm 28 years old, born and raised in Boise, Idaho, though I now live in Denver. The Mile High City, they call it. And for a while there, I really felt like I was flying high myself. I work in tech, freelance app developer. I like to think of myself as the guy who turns people's half-baked ideas into something that looks good on a phone screen. It pays decently, gives me time to travel, and I don't have to deal with office birthday parties or forced small talk. Win-win. It was during one of those flexible schedule moments that I met her, Jenna. Blonde, bright smile, a laugh that could clear clouds. We met at a mutual friend's game night. She crushed everyone at Cards Against Humanity, then apologized for it like she didn't mean to be that clever. I was hooked. We dated for a year. The kind of year that passes fast, like you're speeding down a highway with the windows down and your favorite song on the radio. I took her to Boise once to meet my folks. My mom cried after she left. Said she hadn't seen me that happy in years. Jenna was an art teacher at a local middle school. Loved painting, kids, and pretending to like my programming jokes. She had this way of making everything seem like it had meaning. Even brunch. We moved in together after 6 months. A little fast, maybe. But when things feel right, you don't check the rulebook, you just go with it. Our apartment was small but cozy. She had a thing for plants. I had a thing for letting them die. Somehow, it worked. Life was simple. Good. Uneventful, even. Until it wasn't. You know that moment in a horror movie where the music shifts, just a hair, and your stomach drops even though nothing's happened yet? That was me, the night my best friend Mark said, "Hey, man, can we talk?" I remember it clear as day. We were at our regular Thursday bar, knocking back beers, debating which version of Batman was the best. Spoiler, it's Bale. He looked uncomfortable. Mark never looks uncomfortable. The guy could walk into a biker bar in a pink tutu and start a conga line. "You okay?" I asked. "Yeah, just, something I need to tell you. It's about Jenna." And there it was. The first crack in the glass. What followed was a slow unraveling. Words I didn't want to hear. Screenshots he wished he never saw. Suddenly, our perfect little apartment felt like a crime scene. And I was the last guy to realize there'd been a murder. But here's the thing about betrayal, it either breaks you, or it sharpens you. And buddy, I was about to get sharper than a damn samurai sword. Mark didn't come right out with it. He tiptoed around it, like someone trying to tell you your fly's been down all day. But eventually, the words spilled out, Jenna was cheating on me. It started with texts. Mark had seen her at a party a few weeks ago, one I didn't go to because I was finishing up a freelance gig on deadline. He said she seemed cozy with some guy. Not just friendly cozy. His hand was on her thigh, cozy. Mark didn't confront her then. He didn't want to jump to conclusions. But then came the kicker. I saw them again. Yesterday. Downtown. Doing what? I asked. My voice was level, too level. He looked me square in the eye. Kissing. At that coffee place on 14th and Blake. I wasn't going to tell you unless I was sure. I stared at my drink. It suddenly tasted like regret. Did you get a photo? I asked. Mark winced. No. I wasn't exactly playing paparazzi. But man, I swear it was her. I didn't want to believe it. But Mark's not the type to stir up drama for fun. And Jenna had been off lately. Nothing obvious. Just small things. She smiled less. Slept more. Her phone was always face down. Still, denial is a hell of a drug. That night, I went home and stared at her sleeping, wondering if I was imagining everything. If maybe Mark had made a mistake. If maybe the guy was her cousin. A really affectionate cousin. But something in my gut told me otherwise. So I did what every guy who swears he respects privacy but owns a shovel does, I went digging. The next few days were a masterclass in passive-aggressive espionage. I watched her like a hawk, paying attention to patterns. Who she texted, when she left, how often she suddenly had errands that couldn't wait. Then came the smoking gun. A late-night text notification. I wasn't trying to snoop, I was reaching for a charger and the screen lit up. And there it was. Last night was amazing. Can't stop thinking about you. Same time Friday? The sender? Tommy. Tommy, huh? I didn't confront her that night. Or the next. No, I needed a plan. I needed clarity. And maybe, I needed a little revenge. So I called Mark. You up for some amateur sleuthing? His laugh was all I needed. You mean, busting Jenna, level sleuthing? Bingo. We followed her Friday night. Yes, it was juvenile. Yes, it felt like something out of a teen drama. But when you're chasing the ghost of a relationship, your pride doesn't stand a chance. She said she was meeting a friend from work. We tailed her downtown. And wouldn't you know it, she didn't head toward the school district's favorite bar. She went to a fancy steakhouse, the kind where you need a reservation and a second mortgage. And there he was. Tommy. Tall, too polished. Looked like he moisturized and used words like, curated experience. They hugged. Sat close. And when he leaned in and kissed her across the table, I felt my jaw clench so hard I thought my molars would snap. Mark said, "You okay, man?" "Peachy," I lied. We watched until they left. I didn't know what I was going to do next. I just knew one thing, I wasn't going to yell. I wasn't going to cry. I was going to plan. Because while Jenna was busy playing house with a walking cologne ad, I was about to turn her little affair into the worst decision she ever made. Next stop, Operation Payback. Mark and I sat down Saturday morning with coffee and a notepad like we were plotting a heist. Technically, we were. Just not one that involved vaults and blueprints. This was emotional theft. Time to rob Jenna of the comfort she thought she had. All right, I said, first question, do we go scorched earth or poetic justice? Mark didn't even hesitate. Poetic. Always. You want it to sting and echo. I nodded. The guy had watched too many spy thrillers, but he wasn't wrong. This had to be satisfying. Precise. We weren't going to slash tires or key cars. We were going to make her think twice before screwing over someone again. Phase 1, let her keep digging her own grave. I acted normal. Sweeter, even. Bought her flowers. Made her favorite pasta. Pretended I didn't know she was slipping out every Friday night with the girls. And every time she lied to my face, I filed it away like evidence. Meanwhile, Mark helped me collect digital receipts. He had a friend who was a bit of a wizard with data recovery, and let's just say Jenna's deleted messages and photos weren't as gone as she thought. Phase 2, exposure. We planned it for a Friday. Her usual Tommy time. I told her I was working late and kissed her goodbye like a sitcom husband. Then Mark and I followed her again, this time with cameras. We got clear photos. Him kissing her neck. Her laughing, holding his hand. A regular Hallmark betrayal. But that wasn't the end goal. Oh no. The piece de resistance was her birthday. Phase 3, the presentation. She'd invited friends over. Said she wanted something low-key. I agreed. Said I'd take care of everything. She beamed, told me I was the best boyfriend ever. The night arrived. I had everything ready. Cake, drinks, music, and a slideshow. She thought it was pictures from our last vacation. It was. For the first 30 seconds. Then came the photos of her and Tommy. The room went dead silent. You could hear the sound of her dignity combusting in real time. What is this?" she said, voice cracking. I smiled. A tribute. To honesty. And endings. People started whispering. One of her friends gasped. Someone said, "Oh my God." Jenna's face turned white, then red, then something between rage and humiliation. She stormed out. I didn't follow. Mark clapped me on the back. That was cold. Thanks, I said. Now let's eat some damn cake. Because the worst thing you can do to someone who broke your heart? Show them you're better off without them. After the birthday bombshell, Jenna ghosted. Not in the haunting sense, more like a guilty poltergeist with poor follow-through. She moved out the next week. Said she needed space to heal. Right. Heal from what? Getting caught? I didn't respond. I helped her pack, civil as a monk, quiet as a confessional. Every time she opened her mouth, I handed her another box. She got the message. Mark and I had a celebratory bourbon the night she left. He raised his glass and said, "To honesty and endings." I added, "And starting fresh, with less emotional landmines." First order of business? Redecorate. Anything she touched got purged. Her boho pillows? Gone. Her sad little macrame plant hangers? Donated. Even the watercolor of a sunset she painted that hung above the couch, trash. Second order? Reclaim myself. I started running again. Got back in the gym. Reconnected with people I had been too busy to see. It's amazing how much time betrayal frees up. People kept asking if I was okay. Truth? I felt lighter. Like someone unstrapped a weighted vest I didn't know I was wearing. Turns out loving the wrong person is exhausting. 1 month later, I saw Jenna at a farmer's market. She looked rough. Baggy hoodie, dark circles, pushing a cart of overpriced kale. She saw me, hesitated, then offered a tight smile. Hey. Hey, I said, cool as the cucumbers on sale behind me. You look good. I feel good. That was it. She stood there for a beat, probably waiting for me to say more. Maybe expecting an olive branch. I gave her a nod and walked away. Because moving on doesn't always come with fireworks. Sometimes it's as simple as choosing not to go backward. There's a moment, after the dust settles, after the adrenaline fades, where the silence sets in. Not the sad kind. The clean kind. Like walking into a freshly cleaned room. That's what life felt like. Clean. I moved into a new apartment a few months later. Bigger place. No ghosts. I splurged on a couch that wasn't half murdered by her cat. Got a ridiculous espresso machine just because I could. Little victories. Work took off. Funny what happens when you're not mentally juggling heartache and deceit. I landed 2 major clients back to back. Mark and I even started working on an app together, a passion project about self-recovery. It's called Breakover. Cheesy? Absolutely. But people eat that stuff up. I started dating again too. Slowly. Carefully. Like dipping a toe back in the ocean after nearly drowning. I didn't trust easily. Didn't overshare. But I didn't carry bitterness, either. Turns out, healing doesn't mean pretending it didn't happen. It means refusing to let it define you. As for Jenna? No clue. We haven't spoken since the Kale cart incident. And honestly, I don't need to know. People always talk about closure like it's something you get from someone else. Truth is, you give it to yourself. The day I stopped thinking about her when my phone buzzed, the day I laughed without it feeling like a stretch, that was closure. If you're waiting for some big message, some neat little ribbon on this whole thing, there isn't one. She cheated. I got smart. Then I got better. End of story. Or maybe beginning of a new one. Because the best revenge isn't destroying someone else. It's living well enough that they stop being the last chapter in your story. And you become the damn author. Thanks for watching.